Okay, we are gonna look at the fundamentals of web technologies. This is the subject. First thing that we are gonna look is the internet. As we know, many people use the internet nowadays, but what actually is the internet? It's just like I just say, it's a network of computers spanning the globe. It means just a lot of computers connected together around the globe. They make up the internet. The internet is just a short form of interconnected network. So you can see there, it's just several computers connected together. And this internet uses two protocols in transferring it in this process of exchanging files, actually, which is the telnet protocol and the file transfer protocol. When you speak of protocol, it just means it's just some set of instructions which guide the computer to do. So we have those two things over there, the file transfer protocol and the telnet protocol. Yeah, so this protocol, as we know, is just some instructions. The telnet is just a character-based communication, and it's just designed to transmit cursor movements or grapher. It's just designed, it's based on communication, but it does not transmit graphical or cursor movements or graphical users interface. Whereby the file transfer protocol, just like the name suggests, it's mostly used for transferring files, and it does not allow much interaction between the files and the users. We're going to look at another thing, which is the WW, which is the World Wide Web. This is just a service or an application of the internet. The web, it just provides a simple way for sharing information. It helps us to share information over the internet. And these documents on the web, most of them are just made up of this HTML, which is the hypertext markup language, which you're going to see as we move forward. So yeah, documents are created there by using HTML, and these documents can even have links to other documents and things like that. So you can just see that in the next, as we move on, we're going to see what are these HTML. Okay, but this World Wide Web, it uses a different protocol. It uses the hypertext transfer protocol, which is the HTTP, in order to exchange information between computers. So in the WW, the HTTP is the protocol used. Okay, we are going to look at another thing, which is the website. What is the website? A website is just an area or just a site that is accessible over the internet, and we can actually say a website is just a collection of the web pages. And this web pages, what are they? It's just a page. A web page is just a document, a HTML document. So collection of these web pages actually make up the website. So, and these web pages are normally made by the HTML documents. As I said, we're going to see what is HTML ahead. So let us look at another thing. There's the web browser, another important thing. And this web browser is just a software which just translates the HTML documents in such a way that the users are able to view the web page. So it just acts like a compiler for this case. And there are different web browsers, as we know, the Firefox, the Internet Explorer, Mozilla, and things like that. Okay, so in the past we just saw a web browser. We're going to continue to see some few important things in web. The next thing that we're gonna look at is the domain name. Yeah, the domain name. What is this domain name? Actually, the domain names were created to create a user-friendly environment. At first, the web used to use the IP addresses to access computers over the internet. But then, as we know, the IP addresses are just numbers, and these numbers, they are not user friendly. They are not user friendly because the users can easily forget them. So they decided to come up with a way that will be easy for users to remember, and thus they introduced domain names, whereby it's more simple for the users to remember the name than the numbers. So they try to replace to use names instead of using the IP addresses. And in doing that, they had to create a program which had to coordinate the IP addresses which are already there and the domain names which are going to be used. And this program, I can say a software or a system, it was known as the domain name system. So it's domain name system. It is just a coordinating software which coordinates between the IP addresses and the domain names. And after that, this software was running on one host computer, and then in that host computer which it is running, the computer will be referred to as a domain name server. Also, let us look at another very important thing, which is the uniform resource locator. The IP address and the domain name, they just identify a particular computer on the internet, but they cannot tell us exactly where a website resides in that computer. So in order to know exactly where the website resides in the computer, we use the uniform resource locator, which is the URL. It helps us to locate where exactly is a website. So that's the four major things which the URL does. First, it transfers protocol to use for transporting the file, the domain name of the computer on which the file resides, the path name of the folder or directory name of the file, and the name of the file. So we can see the URL has majorly four parts, which is the protocol, the HTTP here. It has a path name. It has the domain name. This is the domain name. For example, here ifm.ac.tz, and the path name is here, the documents, and also can specify the specific file name. So you can see it shows exactly where the website is residing in the specific computer. Yeah. So that's all about the URL.